I've been a bit more sentimental with my time. I feel as I'm getting older, things always pass, and as a wise man once said to me at a bar, life is about highs and lows, and it's about managing the lows. And for that reason, I've been more sentimental about the good times, and some of the best times that I've spent, honestly, are on the bike, cycling through Amsterdam. And one of the places that I really enjoyed was this route right here that I'm cycling on the way to work, from work. Was always a detour, but I always enjoyed it because it's, especially at the end of the day, it's like quite quiet and it's a really nice vibe to it. I mean, look around. So I thought today was a nice day. Take the bike out, cycle around a bit, and later go buy some meat at my local butcher to prepare for some dinner tomorrow. Yeah. So it's always awkward because you want a video with content, and of course, being cycling, perhaps that should be the main thing. But I always find videos with just cycling to be quite bland. It has to have some sort of a story element to it. So I thought maybe it's good to talk about some of the recent struggles that I've had with updating my portfolio. I'm a UX UI designer, and I recently got laid off from my job because the company wasn't doing so well. I was unlucky to be part of the 50% that was let go out of a company of maybe 20 people. Not that much. Or was it 16? I don't know. And unfortunately, as a UX UI designer, you need to have a portfolio. And unfortunately, a few weeks before we got announced laid off, the hosting site that I was on HostGator got like some sort of a malware. So at one point I trusted a third party to help me out with some SEO stuff. Wasn't that big of a deal, but still, I thought, I need to update my portfolio anyway, and I wasn't planning to move anytime soon. So I decided to just reset the whole hosting and start my website from scratch. Of course, no backup, so that was my mistake. But then a week or two later, I can do an ollie here. Oh, not the best ollie. But yeah, a week later they announced that we're cut off, so I had to like struggle with my portfolio. And I was talking about it with my girlfriend the other day about how difficult it was to update it, and how difficult it was to really get things the way I want them to be. And a very interesting video came up from what's his name? The guy from MythBusters. Jesus Christ, the name's at the tip of my tongue. Not Jamie, the other guy. Adam? No, it's dead. Wait, I gotta Google it. It's killing me. 1 second. What's the guy's name? Adam Savage. Yeah, that's right. So, a day after I talked about it with my girlfriend, a very interesting video came up from Adam Savage, and he runs this channel called Test It Now, and he does all these like cool stuff with animatronics and engineering stuff, and he likes to make things and whatnot with his crew, test out some cool ideas or whatnot. But he recently posted a video about how to manage perfection versus practicality, and what he meant by it, or what one of his viewers meant by it, because it was a series of asking questions and giving some answers and thoughts, is about how as a creator you want to make something so perfect because you think like, oh, it's my call anyway, I'm the final decision maker, so I can do basically anything I want, and that makes the scope really big for a project, because it's your own, you put your own name on it, so you want things to be as perfect as they can be. But what's perfect is not always practical, and my struggle recently was that I've designed a website in Figma, and I wanted to translate that to a WordPress website, and I'm not a developer, so sometimes I want cool stuff, but cool stuff requires some custom HTML and CSS, and thankfully with ChatGPT things are a lot easier. Oh, look, cute dog out the window. It makes things a lot easier, and it's expanded my horizon on what I can do, and I feel like I've made something cool already, but it is always not good enough, and it's such a struggle to call it quits and think about what's practical, because I need a website to apply for jobs. I need to have something ready out there. And when I told this to my girlfriend, she was like, well, it's not hard, it's doable, you just have to do it. And I think perhaps it's something that creatives mostly struggle with, not meaning that non-creatives don't. I think non-creatives also want to have something perfect, be it in their personal lives, like having the perfect house or the perfect looking couch or whatever, or I don't know, can't think of a better example. Oh, wasn't sure what's happening there. Sorry. Yeah. But yeah, it's the struggle is real, and it doesn't mean that I don't understand what to do or how to make it perfect. Another struggle is that currently my website only contains an About Me section, so according to some feedback that I've gathered from my friends and also my girlfriend and a few impartials, they said it was too wordy. And yes, because it's only about me, I have 2 projects set up there that I'm really proud of. But it's also hard to put projects online, because these are things that I've designed 2 years ago or for the past 3 years. And when you look back at a project, it may have been good at the time because you are constrained to a budget or a time frame and somebody else has signed off on it. But you as the designer, you see some of the imperfections and the flaws, and you've had some of the negative connotations about the project, maybe you've worked with a colleague you didn't particularly like, or the client wasn't too nice or whatever. So there are only a handful of projects that I'm really proud of, and on top of that, when I am working on a project, it's not in particular my own, so it always becomes this like question of like, what can I actually show that was meaningful? Yeah, but the reason why I'm talking about this is because I want to share my epiphany that I've had with you about perfection, on how to manage perfection and looking at practicality versus practicality. And you know what the answer is? It's just not too deep. You just got to create and set yourself a goal. Just make something, put something out there. And once you have put it out there, you can always reiterate. You can make it better. I think that's also the main reason why a lot of product teams have design sprints, because it's never good enough. John Connolly from Film Riot, he always says that a movie is never finished, it's released. Because as a director and writer, what he envisioned when writing the script will never come 100% into reality on the TV, on the big screens. There are always hundreds of people on the same project, multiple influences, different actor meanings or interpretations. But in the end, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, the person actually watching it, and you know, when releasing something as a creative, it's about what you want to put out, I guess. That being said, I really need to finish my project. Yeah. So yeah. Was a tough uphill for some of the cyclists out there. Maybe 2% elevation isn't that much. Oh, look at this guy. Whoa! So cool. Not really. But for me it's a lot. Especially on this bike. Whew. There's a nice downhill section. So sadly this is not the end of this section, because there's another bridge, which means another section of uphill. So this is a nice in-between section where you get to go downhill before you go uphill again. Make sure to look to left and right, kids, before you cross, even if you have priority. Always stay safe. So I really wanted to have an outlet. I've always talked about having my own product. So maybe like selling t-shirts and maybe like cycling gear, or just things that I'm passionate about, you know? Maybe like bouldering chalk bags or whatever. But it's always hard to create something because I don't know what people want. And I've recently realized that I think the main reason why I don't know what to make is because I just don't have an audience. Or not yet. So this is my means to an end. I'm not sure what type of content should be made in order to tackle the right audience that would buy my t-shirts. But I think it's a good start, you know. Gotta just talk to you guys, while I'm cycling. Sometimes in the city, sometimes in the open like this. And you guys tell me what you like. I recently found a domain name called grumpykittens.com. So close to buying it. But the thing is, if you buy a domain and you make a website, it doesn't guarantee people will come on it. I don't have content yet. I don't have a following. So I need to make that happen first. Alright. Final section, let's attack this. Phew! Phew! Bunch of campers here returning from camp. Thank you. Phew. See if I can stay on this line. Always look at those Red Bull videos and see think how hard can it be? Oh, but this is tough, guys. I think I'm still on it. Woo! I don't know, guys. Where the real Paul would have I been on it? Yes or no? Let me know down in the comments. Oh Jesus, I'm becoming one of those. Hate to see myself become one, but it's what it is, right? Alright, so that's about the end of the video for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, if you have something that you've been putting off because you want something to be perfect, just go out there, do it, put it online, show your work. It's very important. Once you show it to people, then you get feedback. You go and always iterate on that. So yeah, pieces, over and out, and farewell bitches. Bye bye.